And every time I'm hearing these conversations about skills in the country, first, when we were building Odupi, it was about artisans. And I'm asking myself, who monitors? Maybe you can tell us briefly and start with why was this BRICS working group formed and what kind of themes and programs you are thinking on.
Okay. Thank you for the questions. Um, Look, I mean, you would have the history on how BRICS was formed, but obviously it was trained and investment was a driver behind this formation, as it were. However, it was pertinent that countries look at what skills they have to be able to take the opportunities of trading across the other countries, which then ties back to us looking at what do we have really as a country in terms of skills. To have requisite skills that will be required by these opportunities that presented itself. And at the time, we're looking at the fast changing economies at the future skills, as it were, what we called it at the time. Because right now, we're no longer talking about future skills. The future skills are now must be skills that are sustainable. So that with the working group was created to ensure that South Africa has got the pipeline of such skills, and South Africa also can be competitive from a future skills perspective when we engage with the other BRICS member countries. So in essence, that's why we created the skills. We wanted to bring in the relevant parties. So within the working group, you've got industry experts, you've got researchers, uh, you've got academia and business people, as it were. And it's important that we had that makeup because from the BRICS point of view, you always look at what makes sense. What does business needs? Because we are a business council after all. And what is it that we are providing from a people's skills perspective? And through that diverse, expertise is what made us come up with, the workable and guide our strategies for this.
So, what industries that you think uh, can contribute the most to the South African GDP in terms of if you have better outputs from skills development point of view?
Look, I mean, all industries, as it were, are very important. Um, Today we look at manufacturing, which is really big, and you can see the results, you know, uh, at a click of your fingers. But manufacturing also has been changing because technologies behind manufacturing has been influenced by the change in technologies through artificial intelligence. We're talking right now advanced manufacturing, your 3D printing, and so on and so forth. So it's important that we are aligned with these changes and look at and not just look at the outputs that we see. It doesn't make sense if we will have a huge manufacturing sector that does not produce enough or at a pace that technologies is giving opportunities to your competitors. You also look at agriculture from a food security point of view. There is that importance of ensuring that now we plant with precision. We move with the changing weather patterns. So it's no longer, you can't wait and now say, we will wait for the rain. When there is no rain, new technologies dictates that you can continue to, plant and yield uh, enough and better produce using these new technologies. So if you ask me, what we are seeing is across the board. Even your entertainment industries are contributing towards the GDPs. There isn't any single, if you ask me, any single sector that is just in overhead that's just on perhaps.
Surely there must be some sectors that really bring us the bucks, and there are sectors that are necessary, but I don't think printing my poems is going to change the GDP of the country. You know.
Yeah, but how you sell your points and how they are adopted and accepted in other countries, that becomes a contributor in its right. It's this, and it's important to also acknowledge the fact that because we have been developing behind other developed countries, we are now learning how to commercialize our products. And that's why I'm saying to you the importance of understanding what matters and how you present your product is very much aligned to and understanding what your skills is and how you're going to utilize those skills to make a difference. If technology and your skills does not change, people's lifestyles, that becomes a problem.
Young people are asking me that what is the difference between the BRICS skills? Are there opportunities for them to uh, visit other countries? Is the Business Council bringing a set of programs with other chapters of BRICS in business into focusing, or even it's things as you mentioned of uh, AI innovation? What is the BRICS Business Council taking to or taking from the counterparts in India in this year?
Yeah. So the important aspect in this case is that we don't forget not just our young people. It's also the women and it's also obviously the underserved communities that we have been grappling with in this country. But particularly for our young people, what BRICS Business Council is bringing or looking into is this competitiveness of what they are bringing or what they have. So we've been able through our innovation competitions to look at what young people are, bringing, designing, technologies. We're talking innovations that changes people's lifestyles. You talk in the healthcare, for example. There has been a huge surge of young people coming up with solutions from a healthcare perspective that looks at technologies in terms of providing medical services. Now, BRICS Business Council always calls out from a solutions awards perspective these young people to say, come and showcase what you have. And we take that to your India as they are cheering in this year. And because we believe that, and you can never know the extent of the perfection that these young people develop until it gets tested. So BRICS Council, Business Council opens up this platform for young people to be seen within the BRICS fora, as well as ensuring that investors sees them and gives them these and opportunities. Not only that, secondly, they are given an opportunity because we have seen how young people are self-teaching, themselves, technologies to say, come and test your competitiveness with the not just India, they say, but with the entire BRICS 4. These young people who come and want to become the best, if we use it, cybersecurity, for example, in ascertaining where, issues are. So our young people also given that opportunity. We bring the BRICS countries to South Africa and we take our young people also to BRICS nations.
What are the noticeable programs, maybe since the last time South Africa hosted BRICS in this very exciting convention center, 2023? What would you say those were, or some kind of innovations that you've put through that the BRICS countries are beginning to look at least those innovations now?
Yeah. So South Africa, we sit in a very unique space in that we have a young population, one, and we have young people with tenacity to play around technologies, but also the collaboration that has been seen between our governments, our businesses, as well as academia, has been what we see us creating these projects you're asking us about. Today, we are running a collaboration between our TVET institutions as well as the university institutions because we wanted to create this pathway for young people who are in the educational skills areas or vocational skills to be able to cross over to go to universities. That's why. But secondly, we've also been able to have a project that's approved of co-badging. Remember, we're not just doing projects for the sake of projects. Co-badging across the BRICS countries, where we partner locally South Africans with universities in the other BRICS countries, and the students can come up with a dual badging from the two institutions, which then opens up the opportunities to be able to take up gigs or jobs across the BRICS forum. But most importantly, and the third one is the creation of an employability forum across the BRICS fora. So for South Africa, because we're grappling with unemployment and we see other BRICS countries having found a niche in terms of aligning their industries with academia. So we created the Employability Forum where we are pitching our young people's skill sets through what we call a passport of skills, a BRICS passport of skills. And for opportunities, project opportunities that gets created by the different countries, we get our young people to code it. So we'll take this cohort or we'll take this cohort, and these are paying gigs.
And does this involve a lot of young people are involved in fintech and innovation in that space? Does this or is this part of that? Is BRICS looking at improving its fair share or in the fintech space, especially when BRICS talking about payment systems?
Yes. I mean, 2024, right, when Russia hosted, uh, South Africa had a team of young people who presented a fintech solution for BRICS Pay. And that tells you that we're not only sitting back and allowing other countries to lead. I think one of the abilities that we see on the ground is that BRICS has been very transparent and clear about sharing, so that there isn't just a single country that is hogging and leading in all solutions. So we're giving each other, opportunities to present solutions, and we collaborate. I mean, the important aspect I think that I bring here is that collaboration is at the fore of press. So you will not necessarily want to just have a group or a fit table of young people that are running by themselves. The idea is that we share this knowledge and we share these technologies. We also create the boxing spaces where we don't repeat mistakes. And that is why we see a success in this regard.
And you're quite confident that, or what are the things that you say this will be our success matrix when we come back from India and hopefully start preparing for when we're hosting BRICS here in
Yes.
Fred 8.
Yes. The one thing that is always appreciated at the BRICS is that since 2023, we've been running with core projects. And we want to be sure that those 5 core projects are standardized so that they become seamless across the BRICS countries. So as these new countries are coming, they join onto these 5. So when we report, we don't report on new unknown projects only. We report on additional projects. And of course, when 2028 comes, it would be the outcomes on the ground that we want to show that we've been able to do this. We've been able to do this. And one important area which I started talking to you offline was this of partnering with our government, because we are touching young people within the higher education space. We wanted to make sure that we don't only focus in universities, but we also take a look young people at colleges, young people in private institutions. So we will show how we've partnered with both public institutions and private institutions in academia, researched and come up with projects that have seen these institutions collaborating for real results. And yes, we are looking forward to 2028 to share the great work obviously that has been underway.
Is there a great appetite. I mean, in this country still, if you don't learn your rail from Transnet, I ask myself, okay, maybe a bit of it in Stellenbosch. But surely by now, business should be looking at building an institution that can teach those skills. Otherwise, a lot of engineers start really at Transnet where they're still blind of what's going on in the rail space.
And to that point, I think I want to take you back to an entire collaboration I spoke to of dual badging, because to avoid that, we take engineers at vocational level, we place them with businesses, because after all, it's part of their trade testing. But also, we allow them that they can move from just that level to become professor engineers at university levels to teach. Because what I think, about the occupational space is that they're giving an opportunity to work while they learn, while they train. So the Business Council has got partners in businesses that opens themselves up. What we want to see in this working model is that, in the next 5 years, businesses must actually work closely with academia to dictate the kind of curriculum that academia must look at, because curriculum must be changing. It must be allowed to change or dynamically so. We cannot wait for 4 years. We will say jokingly that gonna those days when you go into an academic institution to learn a qualification, and your entire career is based on that qualification. We want to make sure that, um, you know, learning becomes flexible. Short skills are acceptable, online training acceptable at workplaces. Your work integrated learning. These should be things that the country at large should be adopting. It's not just a BRICS thing. BRICS countries, most of them have always been doing that. You look at your Russia, they've been doing that. You look at China, they've been doing that. We have to come to a point where, those AMBA, the old institutions of vocational training, are partnered with businesses, and not just in manufacturing, because we're doing very well in manufacturing. When we want to manufacture a car, you have these brands that are ready to take young people that put them training. It must be the same in your IT spaces.
I saw some training at the automotive center. Premier Banyazo was launching it last week, and it was great work that they're doing using AI to really, really getting themselves into skills that can really, really push their automation sector and including transformation of those innovations.
And it makes sense, right? Because from that, what we will see is, the SMEs in develop, because these young people will come out to become their own entrepreneurs. And they have to be very close to technologies. You can't have, new technologies, but your SMEs cannot adopt those technologies because they are afraid of trying new things. So these kind of initiatives, as you indicate from uh, Mr. Yusuf, are very relevant. At the BRICS level, that's what we are pushing to say that we not only want to focus on jobs for young people. For jobs, we want young people to understand that health is future-looking skills that, your employers want to take, and it must be the same skills that will be required tomorrow. Have a long life learning pathway planning. Be versatile. And that's what we are bringing in through these annual competitions to say, come and test yourself. You studied digital marketing. So what can you do? And it's important that, as I said, businesses adopt, this new era that is presented. It's a huge opportunity for this country, and it'll see our young people not struggling to decide where do I want to go, or will there be opportunities for me to showcase my skill, my talent, or employment.
So you're saying young people, the opportunity is there. The BRICS Business Council is plugging in terms of skills innovation. From the chair of the BRICS Business Council Training and Innovation, Madame Mapule Ncanywa. Thank you for joining us on the BRICS Africa channel.
Thank you very much.
That's all. Well,